Airbus delivered a record number of planes in 2017 and booked more new jetliner orders than expected, marking a positive end to a difficult year for the European plane maker, marred by further allegations of wrongdoing, personnel turmoil, and supplier problems. Airbus Monday said it handed over 718 planes last year, meeting its target of more than 700 and topping the previous year's total of 688 aircraft. The Toulouse, France-based company still trailed Boeing Co., though, which retained the title as largest plane maker by delivering an industry record 763 aircraft in 2017. Airbus topped Boeing in new deals won, though. It booked 1,109 net orders compared with 912 for Boeing after the Toulouse, France-based company won 776 net orders in December. The total for last year far surpassed its own expectations. Executives began 2017 projecting that after several years of strong bookings, new orders would fall short of deliveries. Airbus instead ended the year with an industry record backlog of 7,265 planes to be built, with production stretching well into the next decade. The record deliveries and strong backlog come at an important transition period for Airbus. Fabrice Bragier, Chief Operating Officer and President of the commercial plane business, is departing. The company's long-serving sales chief, John Leahy, also is leaving. Airbus has said Chief Executive Tom Enders will depart next year. The departures come amid restructuring at Airbus that has raised tensions among different camps and persistent allegations of wrongdoing the company has been unable to put to bed. Last year, the US began looking at Airbus potentially violating arms export rules, while Kuwait launched a probe into possible corruption on multi-billion-dollar helicopter deals. Investigations in other jurisdictions, including France, Germany and the UK, also continue. The company has said it is cooperating with the various probes. Airbus Saturday said it was working to resolve the German investigation. Airbus throughout 2017 struggled with supplier problems that slowed deliveries and raised questions over whether the company could meet targets. It delivered a record 127 planes in December to cross the finishing line. Even though Airbus met its delivery target, it fell slightly short of an internal goal of building 720 planes. First delivery of two new planes, the A330neo wide-body and A350-1000 long-range jet, also slipped into 2018. Airbus is expected to raise output again this year. Write to Robert Wall at robert.wall@wsj.com. Boeing Co. and Airbus both built more jets last year than ever, but not enough to lessen their backlogs and ease supply line strain as orders boom. Airbus said Monday it built 718 planes in 2017, a company record and 30 planes above the year before. Boeing said last week it produced 763 airliners, also a record. The delivery frenzy has been a boon to both plane makers, lifting profit and share prices. But it also has strained manufacturing and supply lines around the world. Investors have punished companies, both plane makers and their suppliers, amid any sign of operational hiccups. The tightness has spurred consolidation both in the US and abroad. Airbus and Boeing have already struggled at times to get planes out the door because of a lack of seats, toilet doors, and even engines. Airbus said it fell short of its target of building at least 200 A320neo planes last year because of lingering engine supply issues. The A320neo is the latest version of Airbus' best-selling narrow-body, or single-aisle, jet. It and Boeing's latest 737s have become the workhorses of both legacy and budget carriers because of their size, fuel savings and versatility. Airbus had 30 planes waiting for engines. At year-end, Fabrice Bragier, the company's chief operating officer, told reporters Monday. The engine supply issues are easing, but Mr. Bragier said Airbus won't commit to higher output of the plane until it has monitored supplier reliability for several more months. Boeing and Airbus ended the year with a combined backlog of 13,129 planes, or almost 9 years of production at current output levels. To cope, both plane makers have promised to build even more planes this year, further stretching factories around the world that are already running at tilt. The market is just strong everywhere, said Airbus sales chief John Leahy, who retires this month. Global economic growth is robust, total passenger numbers are rising, and planes are packed, he said. Airbus plans to produce close to 800 airliners this year, said Mr. Bragier. Airbus booked 1,109 net orders in 2017. A year ago, Airbus projected order intake would slump below the number of planes delivered, eating into its backlog for the first time since 2009. Instead, the boom period has continued and Airbus backlog surged to 7,265 planes valued at $1.1 trillion before discounts. The sales boom, and questions over deliverability, come amid a period of uncertainty at Airbus. In addition to Mr. Leahy, Mr. Brazier also is departing the firm. Chief Executive Tom Enders will leave next year. The company also is grappling with accusations of corporate wrongdoing, including corruption allegations in the unauthorized use of middlemen to win sales, in several jurisdictions including the US. Airbus has said it is cooperating with the probes. The production boom comes as both Airbus and Boeing have pursued big, industry-changing tie-ups that have pointed them both in the direction of making and selling smaller planes. Airbus agreed to take control of a new joint venture with Canada's Bombardier Inc. to build and market the Canadian firm's C-Series single-aisle jet. Boeing, meanwhile, is in talks with Brazilian regional jet maker Embraer SA about a partnership. Airbus hopes to close the Bombardier deal this year. Boeing is still in talks to convince with the Brazilian government to back its tie-up with Embraer. Suppliers also are consolidating to gain scale and become more financially resilient to afford the investments in production capacity Airbus and Boeing require. United Technologies last year agreed to acquire aircraft equipment maker Rockwell Collins Inc. Rockwell in April closed a $6 billion acquisition of cabin interior specialist BE Aerospace Inc. French supplier Safran SA is expected to soon close its purchase of seat maker Zodiac Aerospace SA. Write to Robert Wall at robert.wall@wsj.com and Dow Jones Newswires January 15, 2018 9:02 Eastern Time 14:02 Greenwich Mean Time.